How's it, guys? Welcome back to SoccerBeat. It's Michael Morton here, current professional footballer, and I'm here with one of the legends of the game, Tsepo Masilela, Kaizer Chiefs legend, Bafana legend. Teps, thanks for joining me.
Thank you, Mike.
It's good to be here, guys. Make sure you're following us on all the social media platforms. We are everywhere. We are on TikTok, we are on Facebook, we are on Instagram, we are on Twitter, we are everywhere. Make sure you're following us on all the social networks. We have competitions running almost daily, so make sure you're following us so that you can win some awesome prizes as well. Today we have a very interesting topic, and I think the Amakhosi fans, the Chiefs fans, will be very interested to hear this conversation. We're discussing the newly appointed captain of Kaizer Chiefs, Yusuf Maart, the central midfielder. Tips, a lot been made of that. The fact that they've appointed Yusuf Maart as captain, does that mean now that he has a guaranteed space in that Kaizer Chiefs midfield?
No, Mike. If you look at some point, it was the captain, but he was not getting game time. So I don't really think armband makes you automatical choice to be a starter in a team. I think it's that old mentality in today's football. Captain, you have to perform. It doesn't mean the armband will win you a position in the starting 11.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. But who do you think's making that decision? Do you think that's a decision from Nabi himself, or do you think that's something that's coming from the Matong family? Who do you think's making that decision? Because obviously we look at that squad, and to be honest, I don't really see too many other faces really popping up there that spring to mind that would think that that's like a real captain and someone who can lead this Kaizer Chiefs team. So maybe it's almost a process of elimination, and they're thinking that maybe Yusuf Maart is the one guy that really week in and week out like gives a lot of effort and tries really hard, that maybe he's the guy that can represent Kaizer Chiefs. I mean, who's making this decision? Who's appointing these guys?
Judging from where I'm sitting, Mikey, I would believe it's the maybe sporting director, which is Kaizer Junior, and the coach. The coach doesn't look like someone that's gonna be pushed around or be told. He looks like a very tough coach who wants to have a say in everything that happens in the team. So judging from where I'm sitting, I think it's a combination of both. Maybe the sporting director and the new coach, Coach Nabi.
Yeah, sure. Because then it makes me think. I think back to past Kaizer Chiefs captains, and I'm thinking of massive personalities. I'm thinking of guys that have been uh, national team legends, guys like Neil Tovey, Cyril Nzama, Brian Beloy, Tao, Mashamaite, Kune, Shaba. I mean, these names, these are massive individuals, massive players in South African history. These are the type of players, the kind of culture and the heritage of Kaizer Chiefs. These are massive names. Um, it's hard to obviously then compare Mart with these guys, but I mean, it just shows you a little bit about the drop off of Kaizer Chiefs that Yusuf Maart, now the captain. I mean, can you even mention him in the same conversation as these guys?
Yeah, the names you've just mentioned, those are top players. Legends of the game. But again, Mike, when you're rebuilding, if you go for years without success and or without winning trophies, you get to a point where you're rebuilding, and you bring in a lot of new guys, new faces. And if I look at the current Kaizer Chiefs team, especially the 11 that's been playing in the past three games. He's the guy that's been there for I think it's his third season now, and he's 29 years old. You look at the age also. I think he's probably the obvious choice. And yeah, but again, as I said, when you're rebuilding, there's going to be a lot of changes, and you have
Yeah,
to.
but I mean, isn't that quite worrying if you're saying that a guy that's, I mean, it's only his third season in basically in the PSL. I think he spent one season. Obviously got Sekakuna promoted, spent one season at Sekakuna in the top division, and then 2 seasons at Chiefs. I think he's played less. I think he's played about 86 games in the top division, and now he's leading the biggest club in the country. Is that a lot of weight on the shoulders of somebody who maybe he's 29 years old, but in terms of actual football experience and playing at the top level, can he? That's a heavy weight to carry that Kaizer Chiefs emblem on your chest and wear that armband.
Yeah, definitely a heavy weight, to carry, and it comes with lots of responsibilities. But when the team or coach goes for a captain, they normally go for someone that they've seen the qualities, qualities that maybe us at home we haven't seen, because they work with a player every day on a daily basis, and I'm sure there's certain qualities that he's shown, in the team that they've realized or picked up that, oh, hold on, this guy can lead this team. He's got the ability to lead the team, and hence they went for him.
Yeah. So obviously that's discussing all the leadership abilities and that sort of stuff. But right after the break, we're going to discuss his actual footballing ability and whether he deserves a place in this Chiefs midfield, and if he is the right type of player to take this Kaizer Chiefs team back into that top three, top four fight again. So stick with us. We're going to head off to our ad break with our main sponsor, Betway, and we'll be back with you in a couple seconds.
You see, it was this game that turned boys into giants. Even today's aces inherited the name from those who came before. Usabutha lomlilo, buzawabaziyo, bazokutshela, lisegazini, forever.
Thanks for staying with us, guys. We are busy discussing Yusuf Maart and the fact that he has just been announced as Kaizer Chiefs captain, obviously, at the beginning of the season. But now what I want to discuss with you, Teps, is just his footballing ability, take away the leadership side of things. Do you think that this is the type of caliber of a Kaizer Chiefs midfielder, somebody that's going to run the midfield and really take Kaizer Chiefs back into that top three, top four conversation again? Can he run the midfield by himself and take the team back to where they belong?
Oh, that's a tough one, but after watching Yusuf, for the past 2 seasons, and again this season, the 3 games that they've played, you can see he's technically gifted. He's a technically gifted player. He can play long balls, diagonal balls, and he's also good with the ball playing. When you want to build from the back, he's technically a gifted player. And listen, man, to run the whole midfield alone, I think he's a guy he's a fighter. If you look at his qualities, he's a fighter. He's a selfless player. He gives a lot to the team, and you need those type of players. The unsung heroes. Especially in that position. You played that position. You playing that position. Sometimes you don't have to be the one that's mostly spoken about, but you do your job. You do your job quietly, and you let the attacking players shine. And I believe he brings balance to the Kaizer Chiefs team.
Yeah, you see, I'd push back a little bit on I do agree he does have a nice long pass in him. He does, but for me, and I have played against him quite a few times. We played against each other in the NFD when he was at Sekakuna, and obviously played against him again now in the PSL. And I don't know, he's not that consistent. For me, he gives the ball away quite a lot. And in that position, that's especially if you're going to be the deepest lying midfielder, then retaining possession is probably the most important thing. And I think that from time to time, he can lose possession. I won't doubt his energy and his ability. He's aggressive, and he definitely tries to get stuck in and tries to get the midfield going. But in terms of the way that he keeps the ball and the way that he moves the ball around and gets it off the back four, I don't see a lot of progressive passing. I don't know. Maybe you're seeing something that I haven't seen, but I mean, I just don't feel that he has that progressive pass in him, and really gets the team ticking and running the tempo of the midfield.
To an extent, I would say he does have that progressive pass, and when you talk about progressive, you want the midfielders that will break the lines, especially when he has to find the attacking players. He has to find his number 10, or maybe Sarino coming in the pockets from the wide position. You want the midfielder that he's got those passes that can break the line, and feed the attacking players. And to an extent, you also want a midfielder that can play balls behind the defense, for the strikers or for the wingers who wants to break the line and create goal scoring opportunities. And with I do believe he's got that in him. But looking at the way they set up, Mikey, they play mostly on transition, and they've been scoring. They've been scoring goals. This Kaizer Chiefs team's got goals in them, and the way they score, they don't even need him to be that box to box. They just connect Sereno final ball. Voila, goal. So they play mostly on transition, and I would assume for now maybe the coach is happy with him sitting a bit back with the holding midfielder and allowing the front four, to have joy and go and create goals and score goals.
Yeah. But now, I mean, this is Kaizer Chiefs now, Tips. We're not talking about any old team. We're talking about the biggest club in the country. Um, and to just be, I don't know, a 6, 7 out of 10, um, is that what Kaizer Chiefs need? I mean, does Yusuf Maart make his way into a Sundowns midfield? Does he make his way into Orlando Pirates midfield? Because at the end of the day, Kaizer Chiefs fans and football fans, when they think of Kaizer Chiefs, they think of when you think of a midfield, the guys that you played with. I mean, guys like David Matipula, Shoes Moshoyo, like we're taking it way back. Like these are the type of midfielders when I think of Kaizer Chiefs, guys that these big names that really ran a midfield, and those are the guys that had Kaizer Chiefs at the top of the league year in year out. I mean, again, I pose the question: does he make the Sundowns team? Does he make the Pirates team? What do you think?
Oh, Sundowns team. Now, Mikey, listen. To be quite honest, that Kaizer Chiefs team, not many players would make the Sundowns team. And if you're saying not Yusuf, then who to play, or who to play that role? That's the other question I would ask. I would ask you, Mikey. Looking at the Chiefs and what they have, I would back him to to play and do well. But yeah, if he makes the Sundowns team, I don't really think right now, currently, as we're speaking, no. Hence is not even in the Bafana team. But again, as I said, not many Kaizer Chiefs players are making the Bafana team also. But it's a new era, new coach, and they look alike. Like the energy is there, and they playing an exciting brand of football, to put it that way, and they scoring goals. So maybe in future, we'll see me in Bafana.
Yeah, but I mean, at the end of the day, Tips, I mean, he's 29, eh? He's not a spring chicken. And if you say, I mean, he's played now 2 seasons at Chiefs, and the 2 seasons he's been at Chiefs, the first season, I think he played 28 games and Chiefs finished in fifth position. And in the second season, he played 23 or 24 games and they finished in 10th, their worst league position. And in both seasons, they had a negative goal difference. I mean, obviously he's not playing all by himself. There's other guys that are contributing here, but I mean the central midfielder plays a big role in that. Um, I don't know. So I'm just playing devil's advocate here, and I'm speaking and I'm thinking from a Chiefs fan point of view. Are they going to be happy with this Yusuf Maart running their midfield for the next 2-3 years if success doesn't come?
That's the big word. If success doesn't come, they won't be happy. But as I'm speaking purely because of what I've seen of this Kaizer Chiefs team, the whole team. I know Yusuf Maart is part of the team, and again, he said he won't do things him alone. And but judging from the first three games, and if you look at the numbers, he's very reliable. He's always available most of the time.
Yeah.
You need such players in your team. The guys that don't get too many injuries, or they're not out for long. So it shows you that he's got other qualities. If you look at the Liverpool team that had Henderson as a captain. He was always on the
Yeah.
pitch, like a reliable soldier of the coach. Some coaches, they tend to trust those players. The ones that are always available for them.
Yeah. No, I do agree with you on that point of view. I do actually, when we're thinking about having this conversation, actually Jordan Henderson came to my mind as well as a Liverpool fan. I did think of you don't necessarily. So Roger de Saal always actually used to say something to us, and it made me think a lot of myself. He said, "You can only have one guy who plays the piano, but you need a lot of guys to carry the piano." So you often have that one guy that pulls the strings, but you need a
Mhm.
lot of work. You need a lot of workers. So not everyone can play the piano, but you need a lot of people to carry the piano. Tips. We will go to one more ad break, another ad from our sponsor Betway, and we'll be back in a couple.
Betway is giving customers a chance to win big with their 4 to score free weekly prediction. Simply predict the first teams to score in 4 Betway Premiership matches, and you could win 50,000 Rand. Scan the QR code on screen now to enter. Get way more with Betway. Standard T's and C's apply.
And we're back. Thanks for sticking with us, guys. It's myself, Michael Morton, and Tsepo Masilela, SoccerBeat. Make sure you're following us on all the socials. Like the video, subscribe, and share it with all your mates so they also get to hear about SoccerBeat. We are taking over South African football. So glad to have you here with us. Tips in closing, before we finish off here, I just want to ask you, I mean, the last time Kaizer Chiefs won the league was in 2014-2015 season, and that midfield included guys like Katsande, George Maluleka, Amakhosi, Josa Dadla, Yeye. I mean, that was your team. If Chiefs want to
Yes,
get
yes,
back to that level, does Yusuf, yeah,
I
does
was there.
Yusuf Maart make it? Yeah,
I remember the team very well. I was there, Mikey.
yeah. Would you put Yusuf Maart in that midfield?
You know, Mikey, in that team we had a Yeye. You know, Yeye brought a lot. To our game and the style of play. You know, Yeye is a one of a kind box to box midfielder. You know, we is that number 8 that you know if you're playing against a deep defense, he's gonna add numbers in the box and cause havoc. You know, he was very good in combination play and he could score goals. You know, he could score goals and he could create goals. You know, so when you look at that midfield with Yeye, oh, and you had Katsande sitting. But that midfield had too much quality and firepower. But yeah, I also don't think he makes the first 11 when you look at that team. And you had
Yeah,
Siyabonga Nkosi, you know, outside, and you had Josta, and I think you had
George.
George Malulega. You know, there was too much quality in the team.
Yeah, you see, that's just why I always ask the question is because when I think of a Chiefs team that I played against, I mean, you'd be looking at that team sheet and you'd be thinking, oh, in the midfield here, I'm going to be having a nightmare. But when I'm going to have Yeye running backwards, running all around me, one twos, one twos. You're going to have Katsande getting stuck in here. You just know what you're going to get when you look at that midfield. And then when I came up against this Kaizer Chiefs team last year, it just didn't feel the same. And I'm sure Kaizer Chiefs fans feel the same when they look at that team sheet. They're not as confident. I mean, now that he gets a partner in crime there in Blom, does that? I mean, it can lift you as well. I mean, I played in that midfield at Supersport with Dean Furman and Yeye, and then I'm almost just the donkey, the runner that does a lot of the dirty work and then lets the other guys shine. So maybe Yusuf Maart you can use him in that role where you've got the better ball players around him because he does have that energy, he does have that aggression, he does have that work ethic. That maybe he's just a cog in the wheels. I mean, not everyone is going to shine. You do sometimes just need the guys that are going to work behind the scenes.
Yeah, most definitely. No, he will also settle and knowing that he's got now a partner that he plays or a guy that's constantly playing together. There will be more of a pair. Once he gets used to playing with Blom, or there's also Castillo in the mix. They still have Mtetwa, so the competition is also there. So it's not like he's an obvious choice. So there's only two midfielders. But I think
Yeah.
once
What do you, Tips, before you carry on there, what do you make of Castillo? Because he comes on here and there and he hasn't really stamped his authority yet. I mean, I've seen some really nice things, but then he also disappears for large portions of the game. What have you made of him so far?
I like his aggression, especially when the team is looking for goals or they're playing against a team that's only there to defend. They parking the bus. I like his aggression, like joining in the box late or attacking the crosses. He's that number 8 that you'd want to add in a team if you're looking for a goal or you're playing against a team that's just there to defend. Because listen, if you're not gonna add numbers in the box, you're not gonna score. And he's got that quality of arriving in the box late or attacking crosses. So aerial is also powerful. Look at the chance he missed against Sundowns. How he arrived in the box and unfortunately didn't get the goal. But he brings a different dimension to this midfield. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, Tips in closing. Yeah, look, I think we will agree to disagree on the use of Mart decision discussion, but I do think that he has a lot of potential, and I do think that under good leadership, which it seems like they do have now with Nabi, that maybe the team will settle more. And then, I mean, I know from personal experience that when given a proper game plan and a good tactical structure, that you can become a better player within that role. Um, I definitely am not claiming to be the next Kaizer Chiefs midfield, or even claim that I could have ever fitted into that Kaizer Chiefs midfield. It's an extremely tough role to play. But I do think that given some good guidance and some good structure, maybe you can see the best out of him. So I do see your point, and maybe you will have a Jordan Henderson type leader that leads them to league success at some point.
Yeah, I think we should visit this topic again. Let's give him a couple of games and see how it goes.
Yeah. Seps, thank you so much for your expertise and wealth of knowledge. Sign us out. Say goodbye to our SoccerBeat family. Thank you so much for joining us, guys.
Thank you guys for joining us. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and share. Gamina Gawena.
Kamina Gawena, and we'll see you guys in the next one.